wedding gowns and cocktail dresses. Her main specialization is embroidery because about 4 years ago we sent her to Paris where she studied embroidery in a school owned by House of Chanel. We have not recovered our investments yet. Haba ng ROI, grabe. And she's dressing up all these artists. And my youngest, Rachel, she graduated multimedia arts 2 years ago. She's now working for the best boss in the world, her father. Now, that is the story of my 3 kids. Let me ask you a question. You have a choice. For your information, by the way, this talk of mine, the only talk for the day, is now officially my 139th talk for the year. I love speaking. Can I tell you why I love speaking? Because you don't have to be dashingly handsome or have a pretty face to be effective in public speaking. Am I right? As a matter of fact, being dashingly handsome and having a beautiful face is a distraction to public speaking. Agree? Raise up your right hand, everybody, everybody. Kanan yung right. Yes, thank you. Gently tap the shoulder of the person to your right, look at that person and say, makinig ka mabuti kita. Raise up your left hand now, left hand. Tap the shoulder, person to your left, look at that person and say, buti na lang hindi ka distraction. Now, this is the very important part I need to ask you. How many among you are watching me and listening to me for the first time pa lang? Taas ang kamay. Grabe ang dami. Akala ko sikat ako. Look, if this is your first time to see me and hear me speak, please do not say this. Because people who see me for the first time, they have a tendency to say this and that makes me upset. If this is your first time, wag mong sasabihin to. Because most people will say, alam mo yung speaker natin, may kamukha siyang singer. I don't like that. Eyes in front, ha? Eyes in front. Ako yan. Take a look at him. Ang layo eh. Ang layo. Take a look at the next one, di ba? Ang layo. Pero sabi naman ng mga bata dyan, hindi yung isang singer na kamukha niya. Let's review. Okay yan. Take a look at the next one. Ang layo. Take a look at the next one. Ang layo. Now, Richard Poon and myself, we had a concert. Oh, kita mo? Ako kumanta, sila nagsalita, walang umatin. Next question. How many among you are familiar with Photoshop? Taas ang kamay. Aha! Have you ever wondered, with the magic of technology and computer, what would become of me if we're gonna fuse the 3 photos together? Would you like to see the possibilities? Let's review. That's Richard, that's me, that's Joe kapinagsama. Yan pala ang... Of course not. I'm 75% Chinese. How could I look like him? Maybe mas kamukha ko ito. Don't you think so? The point I'm trying to say is this. You can use computers and you can use technology to craft a persona being excellent. As a matter of fact, you can go to church and get out of church week after week after week. But if you are not real, you can't fake your way to being successful. Am I right? The world hates fakes. Do you agree? You can't fake your way to being successful. You're too quiet, I don't like that. Raise up your left hand. Everybody, quick. Tap the shoulder, person to your left. Look at that person and say, kaya ikaw, magpakatotoo ka na. Kanang kamay naman. Dali, tap the shoulder, person to your right. Look at that person and say, welcome plastic. Question. Will you agree with me if I say the happiest moments in a person's life happens to be high school moments? Will you agree agree with me if I say chances are right after high school, you don't get to see your friends for a good many years. Tama? That's the reason why when I accepted the invitation for me to attend our high school reunion batch 73. I know. But because I know I'm old, but because I love doing what I'm doing, I never feel old. Did you notice that? The moment I entered Manila Hotel, I was so shocked. You know why? These were people I have not seen for a good many years. I could not recognize them. Our former beauty queens, they're no longer beauties. Yung mga Prince Charming namin nung araw, many of them have become Cinderellas. Yung mga crush ng bayan namin nung araw, many of them are under hair and overweight. I was the best good-looking guy in that place. Agree? Speaker ako, agree? So, when I went from one table to another table trying to pick up bits and pieces of their conversations, I bet you one day when you attend reunion, these are the possible things you'll hear them say. Uy, pare, kumusta ka na? Okay naman. Alam mo, hindi ka nagbabago. That's a lie. Kumanda ka na. Uy, naalala mo si Johnny at saka si Susan? Si Johnny, wait. Yeah! Di ba yun yung love team natin nung araw? Oo, laging makahawak ang kamay sa campus PDA ng PDA, di ba? Oh, kumusta na sila? Alam mo, nagkatuluyan, nagkasama na sila. Ba't wala sila dito? Hiwalay na sila pa. You begin to hear stories like si Becky. Remember si Becky? Di ba yung muse ng varsity team natin? Beauty yun, di ba? Oh, kumusta na na? Kumusta na? The last time I heard was that separated from the husband and she's now going through life as a single mom. Eto, madalas mangyari ito. Pare, kumusta si Alfred? Si Alfred, bad news. Bakit? Ang daming nilokong kabats natin, babat sa utang, hinahabol ng bangko. And then you typically hear people say, si Tino, remember si Tino? Si Tino, wait a minute. Everybody exploded in simultaneous laughter. And then there's si Tino, di ba yung pinakabobo sa klase natin noong araw? Kumusta na siya ngayon? Milyonaryo na siya ngayon. Tuwang-tuwa yung mga katulad niya. And so, this is my revelation. Can I tell you? Can I tell you what I discovered? These people that I have not seen for a good many years of my life, these people today are the products of the choices they make from day to day. The choices you choose, the thoughts you think, the words you say, the actions you take, the decisions you make, they're gonna form the kind of future you're gonna have tomorrow. Does that make sense? That's why simple lang pala ang buhay. As I take a look at the simple and simplistic concept of life, this is what I discovered. There are three major categories of people in the world. First, there are the winners. Hey, stop what you're doing, do after what I'm doing. Do this. First, there are the winners. Can you do that? 1, 2, 3, go. Winners. Not good. If I ask you to repeat after me, dapat galing sa diaphragm. First, there are the winners. Not good. Question. How many of you have ever seen high school students doing a high school dance number? Taas sa kamay. Yan. Anong masarap panoorin? Yung todong sumayaw o yung mahihain? Paano sumayaw yung mahihain? Masarap sa tayo, sumati ka pa. One principle I have learned in my life is, wala pa akong nakilala o masenso sa buhay na hindi todo sa kanilang ginagawa. Agree? So, if I ask you to repeat after me, dapat punong-puno ng energy yan. There are three categories of people in the world. First, there are the winners. Yeah, and then there are the... No, say it correctly, there are the losers. Yeah, and so there are three categories of people in the world. First, there are the winners, and there are the losers, and there are the whatever major loser. I've got news for you. Minsan, mas may pag-asa pa yung loser. Alam mo bakit? When I ask you a question, alam mo bakit? You should reply, bakit? Because ang loser, pagdating ng araw, babangga sa pader yan. At pagka bumangga sa pader, maybe that is the crucial time in his life when some sense of wisdom will creep in between the gray matters located in between the ears called the brains. And then that person is gonna say, bobo talaga, napakabobo ko. So that person is gonna make a 180-degree turn to stop doing the stupid things that that person has been doing. The Bible has a word for that. That's called repentance. And then that guy's gonna say, I've been fooling myself all along, napakabobo ko talaga, ayaw ko na. And then from that time on, that person has hope. Are you getting it? Ang mahirap yung whatever, yung bang, hindi mo ba alam yung ginagawa mo mali, huwag mo akong pakialaman, buhay ko to, don't judge me. You know, we have misquoted that verse time and time again. Every time somebody is correcting you, when you're defensive, you say, you're judging me, when the fact is, the real context of that verse is that we need not judge people when we ourselves are doing the same thing. Censorious judgment ang tawag dyan. If not, why would Jesus say, remove the speck, the 2x2 plank from your own eye, and then you correct the person. Are you getting it now? That's the reason why many Christians live defeated lives. When they're being confronted with things that are wrong, their defense mechanism is, why are you judgmental? Hindi pwede yan. Are you with me? Raise up your left hand. You're too quiet. I don't like that. Tap the shoulder, person to your left. Look at that person and say, buti na lang hindi ka judgmental. Kanang kamay naman. Tap the shoulder, person to your right. Look at that person and say, yan ang akala mo. Three kinds of people in the world. Sino yun? There are the, and there are the, and there are the whatever major. Not good. How many of you are from UST? UST? Ba't yung sinisigaw? Anong problema nyo? I don't know why UST invited me 2 years in a row to speak to their students on February 14. Hey, what's the big deal with Feb 14? What is Feb 14? Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is one of the most stupid days in our calendar. Guess how many girls will lose their virginity on that day? Because some loser boy is gonna tell a loser girl, hey, if you really love me, you'll go to bed with me. So what's special with Feb 14? You can also say, because today's All Saints Day, you can go with me, right? Doesn't make sense. You know, if there's one characteristic trait of mine in the speaking industry knows me as somebody who always shows up early in my talks. You want to be successful? Simple lang, show up early.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Ikaw na lang kaya din. Now, nakakalimutan ko, UST malapit sa Dangwa. What's the big deal with Dangwa? Traffic, grabe, naipit ako doon sa may gate ng UST. I didn't know whether I'm gonna get off the car and then rush my way to the venue or I'm gonna wait for the car to inch forward. Doon na-trap ako. Aba, nung nasa kotse kami ni my wife, nakita ko yung mga lalaki, nakangiti, pumapasok sa school, marami dalang flowers. Sabi ko sa wife ko, tignan mo yung mga bugoy na yan, hindi nag-aaral. Ginagastos yung allowance ng magulang para malino. They get distracted and they fail off track. Every time you fail off track, there's a term for that. It's called a setback. Everybody say setback. What causes setbacks? Sa totoo lang, ang tunay na pag-aaral nagsisimula once you've gotten that piece of paper you call diploma. Guys, attitude is more important than your skill. That is the reason why I have met so many stubborn, proud, napapa-intellectual na magagaling, hindi lumilipad. But the moment they meet Christ, you know what God does? God changes the character of the person. President of our management club. I was the editor-in-chief of our college newspaper. I was the vice president of our English club. I was the vice president of our economics club. I was the vice president of our marketing club. Lahat ng club, nandun ako. Pati nightclub, gabi-gabi. Umawi na ako sa college. When I was in high school, I was a sama ng attitude. You know why? It took me 6 years to finish high school. Yeah, wala pang K-12 yung araw. I earned my PhD in high school. PhD means passing high school with difficulty. There was another reason why I failed in school. Would you like me to tell you? I used to play varsity basketball when I was in school. Tignan mo yung mga mukha din, ayaw ko paniwala. Alam na alam ko yun ang reaction nyo, kaya nagdala ako ng ebidensya. Yeah. Alam mo yung number 14 saka number 16, they come to CCF too. Now watch, sila lang ang aking pinapakinggan. You know, if you're a varsity player, you think you're cool. Hindi ko naman nila lahat, pero maraming mga varsity player ang yayabang. Hindi naman lahat. 90+%. Malalaman mong varsity player, paano? Laging naka-jacket kahit summer. Basta may logo, di ba? Ayun, ito the woman who will become my wife one day, she was in first year high school and I was in second year high school. When we both became second year high school, I waited for her.
Ganun pala yun.
Third year, paki-off mo na yung litrato ko dito. Ngayon, oh by the way, show them the picture again. We had a reunion 3 years ago. Eto na sila, ang papangit na nila. Turn it off, turn it off. Ngayon watch. When we both became second year high school, then we met. Third year, pumasa kami. Fourth year, graduated, went to UST. Ako naman, I decided to review my subjects again. By staying another year behind. Yan ang sinasabi kong bumangga ako sa pader. Kasi I realized I've lost her. She's the only one in college in their family, and I'm the only boyfriend fetching her in USD na naka-high school uniform ako. Yang-iya ako, grabe. Her relatives at an emergency meeting, akong pinag-usapan. Nagsama-sama yung mga auntie niya, convincing her to leave me. Sabi nila, are you sure you want to be with a loser? He can even pass high school. How can you blame them? Today, when I meet the same aunties, they will say, Francis, we're so proud of you, Dad. Now, watch. Nakikinig lang kasi ako dun sa mga barkada kong player, di ba? Sa kanila lang, kalaban ko yung teacher ko, kalaban ko yung magulang ko, iniilis ko yung mga teacher. Nung nag-repeat na naman ako, that was the realization. Alam mo bakit? Pagpasok ko, first day pa lang, sabi ko, ba't ang babata ng kaklase ko? At ito ang pinakamasakit. Ito ang pinakamasakit. Yung mga barkada kong tika-basketball team, mga walang hiya yung mga yan. Pumasa! Hindi ako hinintay. Then, after countless summer ko na summer, grabe, summer here, summer there, summer everywhere. Lakas ng trauma sa akin, hanggang ngayon, traumatic pa rin. Kaya pag nasa mall ako, umiiwas ako dun sa mga nagbebenta ng DVD. Mamaya makita ko yung DVD na ang title, I Know What You Did. Paano kaya nalaman? Hindi lang yun. May sequel pa yan, di ba? I Still Know What You Did. Paano kaya nalaman ng summer ulit? Akala niyo ako lang may trauma? Yung mga kaklase ko sa high school, hirap na hirap din sila. Sabi ko sa akin 4 years ago, pare, yabang mo na ngayon. Sabi ko, bakit? Ano kasalanan ko sa'yo? O, nasa radyo ka na, nasa dyaryo, nasa TV ka na. Sabi ko, ano kasalanan ko sa'yo? Ba't di ka umaten ng reunion? Sabi ko, walang nag-i-invite. Pare, i-invite kita. Sabi ko, sandali. Sinay ko yung calendar. Sige, game. Nagulat. Are you sure? Sabi ko, yeah. Christmas party yan. Sige. Pagkatapos sabi ko, tingnan muna. Anong batch ka pa? Depende. Marami akong batch. After completing the requirements of the Department of Education, and needless to say, going to the pain of a graduation desk exercise, first day of school, wala naman tatanggap sa akin with my record. Buti na lang naawag Diyos sa akin. I went to a school called Baste. First day of class, before I put my foot inside, I decided to talk to myself. Man, that was a very important conversation. Do you talk to yourself? What about you? Do you talk to yourself? You do? Why? That's okay, that's okay. You can talk to yourself. Kaya lang, when you hear yourself say, huh, you have a problem. So I talked to myself and then I said, Francis, you have choices. Pwede ka magpakawala ng todo-todo, kuha college na to, or you can start from scratch. Nasubukan mo na. All throughout my life, when I look back, God has a unique hand on your life and mine. Also, I started saying, today I'm going to change my life. I graduated with honors. Yumabang na naman. I remember my dad saying, oh, ba't tayo mo pang trabaho? Dad, 4 years. Siyempre, bakasyon muna ako. Yung bakasyon ko, haba. Walang trabaho. Sabi ng dad ko, why don't you apply for a job? Sabi ko, Dad, ano ka ba? Yung anak mo, top grad. I don't have to apply. They're falling in line in front of me and beg me to join them. So sabi ko, relax lang dad, let's wait. And so we waited. And I waited. And I waited again. Yung kaklase kong mga baksak, may trabaho na ako, wala pa. You know, your success can sometimes be a stumbling block to your future success. That is why the Bible is so emphatic in saying that humility is the key. Finally, I landed the job. And then here's my dream. I set goals. At the age of 30, I should either be as rich as our Taipans, or at least I should be the owner or the top guy or executive with a famous company. That dream came true. When I was 30 years old, I became the general manager of a company I founded. And one day when I entered the office, as I looked towards the blank wall, there was this thought, and nagging thought. If the average age of the Filipino man is only at 16 na lang, eto, 30. Lahat ng pangarapin mo sa buhay nakuha mo na. What else is there for you? For the first time in my life, I never knew how bored I was. Because sabi ko, oh God. That's why Rabbi Zacharias says, if that thing which you think will be the ultimate, that will deliver the very thing that you're longing for, and that has disappointed you, you're going to be in trouble. If that boy who you think will bring you to the delivery of all your dreams in life, and that boy will fail you, that job, that career, that fame, whatever, you're gonna be in trouble. And that's why I went to the depression. Supernatural depression. No medical reason. I just can't sleep for 8 days. 8 days walang tulog. You should try that. It's a wonderful experience. And then, all the while, there were people sharing the gospel. One night, I enclosed myself in my bathroom, and then I said, alam mo, ang mahal namin taong di marunong mag-pray. Ang taong di marunong mag-pray, pag nag-pray, parang nagsusulat, Dear God, if you are who they say you are, I want you to heal me not tomorrow, not next week, tonight. Sincerely yours. The next morning when I woke up, my wife's face was this close to me and she said, you don't know, do you? I said, what? You don't know what? You slept for 16 hours. When I woke up, I realized there is a God. And from that day on, I'm about to end, don't stop. From that day on, I said, ang buhay wala sa skills, wala sa intelligence, wala dito sa kayamanan, nandun sa being serious with Christ. Let me just end by saying this, simple lang. If Jesus Christ is the smartest person who walked the face of this earth, and He's not just man, wouldn't it make sense for you to think deeper about it and say, if I follow Him, read Him, know Him, obey Him, then I'll be smarter too. Common sense lang. Let me end by saying this. Sabi ko, Lord, all of my 3 kids now are yours. My job is done, mission accomplished. You can take me now. And then I prayed again. Wag muna. It's a selfish prayer. As long as He will find me usable, I will continue to live because I am at the pleasure not of the President, but of God who created me. You should too. Maraming salamat.